This is Widener Library. Harvard has the largest private library system in the world, consisting of more than 70 libraries and 16 million books. Widener is the largest and most well-known library at Harvard, consisting of 10 floors and 3 million volumes. Widener Library opened in 1915 and was named after Harry Elkins Widener, a graduate of the college, in 1907. Now, Harry loved books and was a well-known collector of rare books. In 1912, he journeyed across the Atlantic to England in search of a first edition of Francis Bacon's essays. Now, on the way back, he got on a very famous ship called the Titanic. Harry was lucky. He was a first-class passenger, and he had the opportunity to get onto a lifeboat. But then he remembered he left the Francis Bacon book he worked so hard to get back on the ship. He rushed back to his cabin and unfortunately perished, along with his first edition, in the icy waters of the Atlantic. 3 years later, his mother, Eleanor Widener, gave $2 million to Harvard University to construct a library in her son's name. However, she had 3 stipulations for the construction of the building. 1, she wanted there to be a room dedicated to her son, with fresh flowers placed in there every day. That room remains here in Widener to this day, and every day, library staff places fresh flowers in the room. The room also holds a copy of the Gutenberg Bible, which was donated by the Widener family. Her second stipulation was that neither brick nor mortar can be removed from the building without consent from the Widener family. Eleanor was concerned that a larger donor would come along at some later point in time and that Widener Library would be torn down to make way for a larger, bigger building. Then how did Widener expand in later years? The answer is, university actually built stories underground and was able to enlarge the building without harming the facade. And Eleanor's third stipulation was, in memory that her son died on the Titanic, she required that every student at Harvard would have to take a swim test in order to graduate. She thought that if her poor son Harry had known how to swim, he would have survived the Titanic. She was actually mistaken, as most of Titanic's passengers perished because they froze to death and not necessarily because they couldn't swim. Nevertheless, this rule remained in place until 1976, when it was revoked because of the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act.